Okay, so at this point, let us talk about the rank function. And here we are going to rank the score of the students during the examination. And by doing so, we type the word rank. And in this example, we will just use the rank EQ. And as you can see, this is the syntax. We need to look for the number that we need to rank. So in this case, this is the score of the student, and then comma, the order or the reference. And this is the list of their scores. And by the way, we need to make this as our absolute reference so that it will be fixed and it won't move when we apply this formula down to the last student. All right, so we have this one now, hit OK. And then to apply this formula to the last student, we just drag this down. All right, and as you can see, you have here top 1, top 2, 3. We don't have 4, we have 5. We don't have 6. We have 7, we don't have 8. Then why is this so? So this type of rank function will only give us this kind of result. And this is because we or Microsoft Excel consider this two students as top 3 and 4, and then this one as 5 and 6, and then so on. Okay, and of course we don't want this type of result, and so I created a different formula. So instead of applying the rank function, I use the sum product, and we just need to apply this formula here and then drag to the last student. Okay, let me just copy and put it here. And by the way, if you want to know more about this formula, please do your research and try to compare this one with rank function. And so I got the same result. And then let me apply this formula to the last student. And then we now have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, and so on. So this is the rank function. Now let's move on to Countif. Okay. So in this case, we are going to identify or count how many students who got a grade of F, D, D plus, up to A plus. And by doing so, we apply the Countif function. Then the syntax is range. That means this refers to the grades of the students. Okay, so from I6 down to I19. And then criteria. So we just simply type the M5. So this means that from the reference grade from I6 down to 19, we are going to count how many who got a grade of F. F is located at M5. So, of course, we need also to make this as our absolute reference. And then right after that, we just hit enter. Okay. Now, to apply the formula to the last grade, we just drag this down. All right. So this means that there is one student who got a grade of F. That is Catherine. There's also one student who got a grade of D. So, and that's Jerome, if you're going to look at the grade of the students. Okay. Next, let's have the average F function. So in this case, we will count the number of students who got a grade of F up to grade of A plus. And aside from that, we need to look for the average of each corresponding grade. So that means if we have a grade, or if we have one student who got a grade of F, then we will identify the average score or grade of that student. Okay. Now in this example, let's have from a student who got a grade of between 66 to 70. And as what we can see here, there are two. Okay. And then, so suppose student one has 66 score and the second one is 70. And we need to identify the average of these two scores. So by doing that, we just add 66 plus 70 and then divided by 2. Okay. So the syntax is average if, okay, we have the range. So the range is still the grades of the students, comma. The criteria is, of course, this one, F, the up to A plus. So we have, let's use M5 first, comma. The average range is the score of the students. And then, of course, we need to make this as our reference. This one too. We just put $sign. Okay. So this means that from this list of grades, so this one is just this column, we will count how many students who got a grade of F, and that is M5. If we drag this down to the second column, this M5 here will change to M6, because in that case then is we are trying to identify how many students who got a grade of D from this reference and with their respective grades in this column. Okay, so this one is just this, and then we make this as absolute. All right, so the average is 59. Let's drag this one to the last one. Okay, now why do we have this error? So this is because that there is no student who got a grade of C plus. As you can see here, no student who has a grade of C plus. Same with A plus. Now, we don't want this also to appear. So instead of having this one as our result, we could also have this as if error, then we type 0. Okay. And then hit OK. And then apply this one to the last grade. Okay. As you can see here, C plus is now 0. A plus is now 0. This means that there's no student who has a grade of A plus and C plus. Now, what is this 83.5? Now, as you can see, there are 4 students who has a grade of B, and those are Marielle, Maine, we have Daniel and Robert, and their respective scores are 85, 82, and then we have 85, 82. So to get the average of this 4 is we just simply add and divide it by 4. And so our result here is 83.5. So this is the average F function. Now, on our next video, we will be discussing about conditional formatting. So I will just upload also the video in our Google Classroom, and please try to watch. And if you have questions, you may just comment down in the comment section. I would um, read and try to provide response to your questions. Thank you.